You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
We begin with breaking news tonight. Two big stories involving two people close to the president, his former personal attorney and former campaign chairman.
One of them found guilty, the other pleading guilty. ABC's Emily Rao is following both these stories. She joins us now live from Washington with the latest developments on what happened today. Emily?
These convictions for Paul Manafort mean he is looking at years of jail time and could be facing fines of more than $2 million. Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort accused of 18 felony counts of tax and bank fraud. Criminal acts prosecutors on special counsel Robert Mueller's team claim were allegedly committed before Manafort's work on the 2016 Trump campaign. The government says Manafort put $60 million in more than 30 offshore accounts, much of the money allegedly from Ukrainian officials with ties to Russia. Manafort did not take the stand in his own trial. His lawyers presented no witnesses in his defense, but they tore into the prosecution's star witness, Manafort's former business partner Rick Gates, who got a plea deal in exchange for his testimony. Longtime personal attorney and right-hand man to President Trump, Michael Cohen, waved to reporters outside his Park Avenue apartment Tuesday morning, hours before turning himself in to the FBI. Cohen reportedly reaching a plea deal on campaign finance violations, bank fraud, and tax evasion. The deal likely to include significant monetary forfeiture and possible jail time for a former member of the president's inner circle. Already, Cohen admitted making payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels before the campaign, the president initially denying he knew about it. And there's the other alleged hush money payment to former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal. The president insisting they did not have an affair, but on a recording, Trump and Cohen are heard talking about the payment. Cohen previously said that he would take a bullet for President Trump, but he told ABC News last month that his family and his country have his first loyalty. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, an action plan in Venice to combat red tide is coming together. The plan came out of a community meeting on Monday, and today the city council is already putting parts of it in motion.
ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez is live with specifics about what will be done to cut down on pollution and fight the red tide. Rebecca?
Jacqueline, Scott, well, yesterday's meeting was supposed to be a way for people to know how Venice is doing in terms of red tide. And after going through every way possible that we may be affecting this toxic plume, the city will now be answering that common question. Okay, so now what? The city of Venice is beginning to take action less than 24 hours after the red tide special meeting.
Everybody's on the same page. We all wanted the same thing done, so it wasn't bantering back and forth. It was focused on solving a problem, bringing the problem to head, and trying to come up with some solutions.
First and foremost, the city manager is creating a plan to help Sarasota County with additional cleanup efforts. Mayor John Holick is also writing a letter to Governor Rick Scott asking that the state limit the amount of nitrogen, animal waste, and phosphorus released into all of our waterways, including Lake Okeechobee.
There is evidence that algal blooms use nutrients that are available to grow. So while there's nutrients coming from lots and lots and lots of different sources, both from inland water bodies, naturally occurring in the sediments in the ocean, we want to make sure that our outfalls are not contributing excess nutrients that are making this worse.
So here comes the next step in the city's red tide plan, monitoring pollution that goes into the ocean. Venice already has a stormwater treatment system that takes rainwater from our yards and our streets, removes nutrients that feed the algae, then cleans it underground before dumping it into the Gulf of Mexico.
That's going to mean physical water sampling at these outfall points so that we can really tell what is coming out of them in more of a real scientific way.
Next on the list are ways that we can contribute from home.
Stricter requirements for new development in regards to Florida native plants, irrigation practices, fertilizing.
And last but certainly not least is the sewage systems throughout the city of Venice.
Less than 0.5% of our customers still have septic tanks, and that is where some nutrients aren't digested by the bacteria, and there can be some contamination of groundwater.
So with all these new changes and regulations, the City of Venice believes it can make significant improvements for our environment.
We can't continue to go on and wait for the next red tide outbreak 5 or 10 years from now and then start all over again. We have to tackle this when it's here, find a way to mitigate it. There isn't any way to eliminate it, but there may be ways to reduce it. So that's what we're going to be looking for.
Throughout the next month, City Council members will continue to meet and put together specifics on how to roll out each one of these plans. They hope to implement them as soon as possible, but definitely by the end of this year. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7 Your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Rebecca, thank you. A local state of emergency has been declared in Manatee County due to the red tide situation. That declaration will allow county officials to pay overtime to staff and also make special purchases to deal with the red tide problem. The state of emergency will be in effect until August 28th, but it could be extended.
Well, you could smell the effects of red tide several miles inland today with that west wind. Let's get more on our First Alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a sign of things to come over the next couple of days, at least through Friday, I think. We'll see that mainly west wind throughout most of the day. Now, there may be a little east wind at night, but generally a west wind throughout most of the day. That will carry a lot of the storms inland, too, in the afternoon and evening. We'll start to see those morning coastal showers as well. And what we have is a cold front, which have been coming down periodically throughout the summer into North Georgia earlier. This one's going to make it all the way down into the panhandle of Florida. There it will die, but it will be enough influence to bring that high pressure down to our south once again. And that will bring us that westerly component. You can already start to see these storms really progressing inland already, so it's starting to transition to that already, although not so much right here near El Jobim, Northport, a bolt from the blue coming out from the actual rain, which is still to the southwest of Northport. Wauchula seeing a pretty big storm near Bowling Green as well, inland areas, and those are moving to the east, basically. We've had some rainfall over north portions of Manatee County. That has since moved on to the east as well. There's not a lot building back toward the coast, and I don't expect a lot of shower activity near the coast for this evening. 90 degrees right now. It feels like 101 out there. Yes, the heat index is high, and the dew point 76. Winds out of the west-northwest. In fact, take a look at the winds. It's sustained right now, anywhere from 5 to 10, really, all across the area, and that has really brought the smell of those rotting fish well inland, and people are starting to experience that. Warmendrel Springs now at 7 miles an hour from the west-southwest. Well, more on our forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. A follow-up now to a shark dragging video that went viral last year. 2 experts who testified today in court were unable to definitively say if the shark was dead or alive while it was being dragged behind a boat in that video. 2 men from Manatee County, Michael Wenzel and Robert Benak, are each charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated cruelty to animals. They have both pleaded not guilty. Charges against a 3rd man were dropped due to a lack of evidence. The next court hearing is set for October.
Tonight, Sarasota's city manager under fire after using a personal account for city-related matters. Former city commission candidate Martin Hyde challenged Tom Barwin to release all of the emails that he's sent using his private account since 2012. Now, this all started when Hyde obtained more than 600 city-related emails that Barwin had sent and received to his private Gmail account. Those 600 emails were only during a 2-year span, so Hyde thinks there could have been more.
Why is it that 50 or 60 have his personal email? I don't think that's right. I'm not accusing him of any serious malfeasance, but frankly, how would we know? We've got no way to see anything that's hidden.
In a statement, the city manager says he is more than willing to release all of those emails that he unintentionally sent through this private account.
Sarasota City Commissioner is also going to spend up to $35,000 to hire an outside investigator to look into the city clerk and auditor. Pamela Natalini is accused of harassing managers, be difficult to work with. Commissioners say an outside investigator is needed to remove any hint of bias. But despite the effort and cost, Natalini says she will not cooperate with the investigation. Mayor Liz Albert says she wants the investigator to interview Natalini's staff and then give commissioners a report as soon as possible.
Well, ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joining us now. And Richard, almost a record today, but not quite.
I was tuning up for Happy Days Are Here Again, but since I can't sing, we almost had it, but not quite. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the Standard & Poor's 500 Index, which most people believe is probably the best single indicator of how Wall Street is doing. Today, intraday, yes, we saw a high for the S&P, but unfortunately we did not close there. What we're looking at, though, was a fourth consecutive up day for all three of the indices that we follow. And at the high of the day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by 130 points. No complaints. Let's take a look at the figures as of 4 o'clock. There you see the Dow up almost 64 points, exactly 1/4% at 25,822.29. That on volume of 889 million shares. The NASDAQ up by 0.5%, more than 38 points at 7,859.17. That on volume of 1,806 million shares. And the S&P, be it ever so humble, not a record, but up 0.2%, not quite 6 points at 2,862.96. Well, I'm not sure if the name TJX means anything to you, but I bet you know some of the stores that they own. How about TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods? Well, TJX knocked it out of the park today. Their earnings came in way ahead of Wall Street expectations. The company's stock was up by more than 4.5%. Same-store sales up by 6%. Profits up by a whopping 34%. And the company said for the 16th consecutive quarter, their customer count has grown. In other words, traffic in the stores. They say a lot of it has to do with younger people starting to shop there because of reduced prices. And I asked a couple of people in the newsroom, and they confirmed that maybe they had something to do with the fact that TJ Maxx was doing so well. You have anything to do with that?
I love that store.
Oh, no wonder. See, now you know
Far
we
too
call
much.
that fundamental research in my business.
Tomorrow, what are you expecting, Richard?
Well, a company called Target, which today closed at a high for the year, they're announcing their earnings, and with all the problems of Macy's and Penny's and Sears, TJ Maxx has figured it out. Target looks like they're doing it as well.
Okay, we'll wait and see. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, the results of an investigation into a new planning system in Manatee County schools.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, why experts say a low-carb diet could be linked to early death. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
By Sunset Cadillac.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. Get an all-new 2019 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $24,999, or save big and get up to $13,000 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
We have breaking news out of Iowa right now, where a press conference just wrapped up on the Molly Tibbetts investigation.
Tibbetts disappeared on July 18th, and there have been reports today that her body has been found. An Iowa official says a suspect is in custody for the death of Tibbetts, and that person is being held on a federal immigration detainer. The man charged with the murder of Tibbetts is in the U.S. illegally. We'll have more on this story as it unfolds.
Manatee County School District is continuing to look into a new planning software system called PeopleSoft after it has shown glitches. The district uses it for things such as payroll, benefit packages, and getting supplies. ABC 7's Jackie Kelly talked with Manatee County School Board Chairman Scott Hopes and tells us what the district will do to solve this problem. Jackie?
Scott, this new system went live on July 1st, and since then they have seen many different glitches, such as not being able to order supplies like toilet paper to the schools. Hope says the district is working with a consultant and a firm familiar with the software to help fix any problems the site is facing. He says some problems the district faced before the system went live is the consulting firm was responsible for the implementation of the software went through bankruptcy. The district also saw turnover of people in their own organization who were working on the project. Hope said their old system was supposed to still be running along with the new system just in case they saw these problems.
And apparently, regardless of the number of times that I questioned and got assurances that indeed we were going to run parallel systems, we found out in the first week of July that someone in administration made the decision to not run parallel systems.
Now the district doesn't know if they'll have to spend any extra money to fix these glitches. And as for payroll, they say by today they should know if they're able to use this new site or if they'll have to do this pay period by handing out paper checks. Reporting live in Manatee County, Jackie Kelly, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Jackie, thank you. Wildlife experts say red tide is a big contributing factor to the high number of manatee deaths this year. Florida Fish and Wildlife reporting there have been more manatee deaths so far this year than all of last year. 540 manatees have died this year compared to 538 in all of 2017. Experts blaming a cold snap near the beginning of the year and the current red tide outbreak for those deaths.
But there is some positive news about Florida's marine life. Wildlife officials say the scallop population is rebounding following a bout of red tide off of the Florida Panhandle. FWC says the adult population of St. Joseph Bay scallops is nearly 4 times what it was last year. However, the scallop population is still vulnerable.
And Bob joins us now. That's something they're trying to get going again in Sarasota Bay, reintroducing scallops and trying to get them to multiply and thrive because they can clean our waters.
Yeah, the clams and the scallops as well. Yeah, it looks as though the red tide too could be getting higher in Venice. Had a report today. Right around noon, 4 million parts per liter, which is unbelievable. That's off the charts. Yeah. That was taken today, so we'll see how it goes out Wednesday, the midweek report. We are looking at the Lakewood Ranch webcam today, and Lakewood Ranch is showing pretty nice sunshine today and just a few fair weather cumulus clouds. You'll see here in the last few frames a couple of storms building and then pushing east of Lakewood Ranch. Really not much rain at all west of I-75 today. And it's all disruptive now as a result of a cold front which continues to settle southward right now. High pressure is pretty much over the top of us and continuing to sag southward now. And as that high pressure moves, we will see it eventually set up down south and near the Florida Straits. And that will give us that west wind as winds travel around a high pressure and out from the center. in a clockwise fashion, and that will allow mainly inland storms in the afternoon and evening, and then we'll have a few coastal showers in the morning. We've seen this pattern before this summer, and during the late morning, right around noon, we could see some pretty big cells. Again, all the activity seems to be pushing off to the east. There's not much of a push to the west this time, and we had the east coast breeze you see right there kind of pinned as a result of the high pressure right over the top of us. There's not much pressure gradient, so you're not seeing a lot of push either direction, really. This a couple days ago was all the way over to here at this time. So the convection, the big storms will fire off in the Highlands County tonight. We'll get a stray shower or two every once in a while popping up on some outflow boundaries near the coast, but they shouldn't be much. You can see that rain trying to pop up near El Jobin, near Tarpon Point. That is weakening now after we had a couple of cells near Bee Ridge and also near Clark Road push off toward the east. The overall water vapor content, not a lot of moisture, but not a lot of dry air either, so fairly typical over the state right now, and we'll see that continuing, I think, through the next couple of days. Maybe moisture returning for the weekend, so our rain chances will pick up a little bit, and things will change again, too, by the way. Here's the wind forecast. As we'll see a little east wind tonight, not much. It quickly switches around to the west, say after 10 o'clock. We'll see that westerly flow throughout most of the day. A little earlier start, and that's again a result of that high pressure shifting off to the south. Well, unusually quiet continues in the Atlantic and the Caribbean at this point. No storms really even to monitor, nothing to look out for, but boy, a big storm, Lane, heading toward Hawaii, going to kick up some tremendous surf there. It's a Category 4 storm, 155-mile-an-hour winds. It will be downgraded before it reaches Hawaii, but it looks like they will be dealing with a hurricane in a couple of days from now. Well, the beach and boating forecast, south winds turn to the west at 5 to 10 knots for us tomorrow. A light chop out there in the bays and inland water. So not much of a chance of rain tomorrow. Morning shower possible too along the coast. A better chance for some coastal storms on Thursday with inland storms in the afternoon. It stays that way on Friday, and then we get back to afternoon and evening storms for the weekend, and those rain chances increasing too, both on Saturday and on Sunday, staying fairly high. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to First Alert traffic. We're seeing US 301 backed up around State Road 70 in both north and southbound lanes there, so expect some delays if you're heading along 301. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, cutting carbs out of your diet could possibly cut years off of your life. A new study in the journal The Lancet Public Health found that people who ate a moderate amount of carbs lived 4 years longer than those who had low-carb diets. Scientists also say people who replaced carbs with animal protein and fat from animals had a higher risk of an early death than those who replaced them with plant-based foods. Coming up, a statue torn down on the campus of UNC Chapel Hill. Why protesters say its time is up. And a man arrested for an illegal sideshow on top of one of the world's most famous bridges. Those stories coming up next.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Don't hide it. We know that sometimes emotions just get the better of you, especially at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. And we know getting a deal on the Honda Civic, a 2018 KBB.com Best Buy, can be quite liberating, especially when this stylish Honda Civic comes with Sport Mode.
Yes! Yes!
Express what you're feeling at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
I'm happy you're happy.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Civic today.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits, including a savings account with up to a 5% annual percentage yield. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Get paid faster with the Brinks prepaid MasterCard. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-290-8144.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
Protesters in North Carolina topple a Confederate monument on a college campus.
Hundreds held a rally last night at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill. They were calling for the removal of the controversial statue known as Silent Sam. It's a monument honoring the soldiers who died fighting for the Confederacy. It had been standing on the campus since 1913. Protesters eventually took down the statue themselves. The university called the incident dangerous and said it's investigating it as vandalism.
A 21-year-old man is in custody accused of driving a white convertible Mustang in an illegal sideshow on the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. 3 cars shut down traffic when they decided to drive in circles across all 5 lanes. By the time authorities got there, most of those vehicles had driven off, but the driver of the Mustang actually crashed, so officials arrested him for reckless driving.
30-year-old post office in Seaside, Florida came tumbling down today as workers tried to move it to a new location. Movers say a jack fail and rotted wood caused that mishap. The Seaside Community Development Corporation says they're currently assessing the damage to that building. The group said it's working to recover it as a whole and then move it along as planned.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News.
It happened to us, and it can happen to you too.
A mother's warning after learning a golf cart charging in her garage nearly killed her family.
And new developments in the search to find a missing college student in Iowa. We'll have the latest coming up.